Judge Joe Brown's all-new barbecue sauce and seasoning. Justice in the form of flavor.
Law firms will take this as a retainer.
What? It must be a law firm where they hungry as hell. Now you gonna help me with this parole I'm dealing with?
Judge Joe Brown's all-new barbecue sauce and seasoning. Justice in the form of flavor. With one taste of our premium blends of all-natural ingredients, herbs, and spices, you'll fall in love with meat all over again. Judge Joe Brown's all-natural barbecue sauce collection is made up of 2 zesty flavors, original and spicy. There's only one way to bring order back to barbecuing. Just add Judge Joe Brown's all-natural barbecue sauce and seasoning, and you be the judge.
Hi, testing, 1, 2, 3. Can you guys hear me loud and clear? Welcome back to Man Up Thursday with me, the real Dana, and of course, Judge Joe Brown. He will be up shortly. How is everybody doing tonight? So I have 2 special guests. This past Monday, when me and the judge did the show Monday, we had Ellie Pink come on to talk about Fulton County crisis. That's what I'm calling it. Fulton County controversy, but Fulton County crisis. And I have 2 new guests today, sharing their stories and, their trials, tribulations, their issues with the county as a whole and with the city of South Fulton. Yeah. So I'm going to bring them up shortly, right after I do my opening statements. So welcome everybody. And also, so the first hour, I'm gonna have the 2 guests come on, and what we do in the second hour, we go to the other main topic, which is the migrant crisis tonight. So tonight we're going to be talking about the migrant crisis because you had hundreds of illegals stampeding and tearing down a fence at the border in El Paso, Texas, storming over the border patrols. Now, I don't know if they were state or federal, but they did not shoot them. They did not try to arrest them. I don't know if they could do anything. Well, we have a border crisis. We have a migrant crisis. We have an illegal crisis. Yeah. So we're going to be talking about that. And you see AOC in the thumbnail, honey, because we need to talk about her district and her stupidity on the Hill in Congress, right? And so Fulton County crisis, that's up first. And then we're going to go to the migrant crisis. So please, everybody, hit the like button. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Share this video. Hello to everybody on X. Please repost on X. Take this video and share it on all of your social media outlets. If you would like to ask a question or a statement, please do it via super chats because I need to focus on the guest and the show. So I really don't have time to examine the chat for questions. And it gives you guys an opportunity to support the channel, right? Speaking of support, let me get this going. The little thing here. Yeah. Also, before I bring up the guests, 2-hour show here on YouTube. What I am doing today, I did say I'm going to be having phone calls. We're going to do overtime and extend the show on the website. So if you go to therealdana.com, sign up, meaning become a member. It costs you nothing to sign up. You only pay if you want to watch Judge Joe Brown archive videos. Other than that, I need for you to sign up. Now, we will be live streaming on the website at 11 p.m. And that's where we will be taking phone calls. So you guys get to speak to me and the judge. But I know you really want to call in for the judge. And then we're going to talk about more things on the website that I really don't or can't talk about here on YouTube. So overtime at 11 p.m. on the website, therealdananetwork.com. And what else? I need to start writing down my announcements. I need to start writing down the announcements. Was it something else? I think that's it. Yeah. Is it? Yep. Okay. Hi, Rashad.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. Okay. See, testing audio. Okay. All right. How much is the website? So the website is free, Roland. The website is free. I would like for you to become a member. It's just that certain videos you have to pay is $10 a month. But other than that, everything else is free. And all right. So Rashad, you are okay. I hear echo. Let me see. You don't have the show playing on your computer, do you?
I do not.
Okay, so the YouTube show is nothing is open on your
I
computer.
am not on YouTube.
Okay, good. Hi.
Hey.
Please introduce yourself to my audience because I was introduced to you via LA Pink.
Right.
And did I get the city right? South.
The city is city of South Fulton.
City of South Fulton. City of South
Yes.
Fulton. Okay, which is in the county of Fulton County.
Yeah, and I'm gonna explain all of that.
Okay, so I really hate it when the judge is not here on time, and I tell him 10 minutes before because his Wi-Fi is like is so slow, and I want when I start, like I like to boom boom boom, but I want you right now introduce yourself to the audience, who you are, and I guess a background of your situation or your encounter with, I'm calling it the Fulton County crisis.
Okay. All right. So, thank you, Dana, for having me on the show. My name is Rashard Snellings. I was originally born in Miami. I lived in Fort Lauderdale for the majority of my life. I moved to Atlanta, Georgia, back in 2006, where I attended Georgia State University. I studied real estate as well as public policy. I moved to what was unincorporated Fulton County back in 2016. I purchased a house here. Shortly after moving here, there was a measure to create the city of South Fulton, and the city of South Fulton was created in 2017. Now, with the city of South Fulton, it is commonly referred to as the blackest city in America. Our mayor, city council, our city attorney, our city clerk, our city manager, and many of the employees, they're pretty much black. The population of city of South Fulton is roughly about 108,000 residents, and the the makeup of that is about 92% black. We are the seventh largest city in Georgia, with not a single hospital for 108,000 residents. Our police headquarters is located in another city. Our municipal court operations previously were held in a park facility. We recently leased space in another city to conduct our court operations. Um, Oftentimes, the city of South Fulton is referred to as South Fulton County. We are in the southern part of Fulton County, but we are our own city. It's city of South Fulton. So that's a little bit about the city.
Thank you for that. And Atlanta is right next to the city of South Fulton.
Yes. So a lot of times our residents kind of get a little confused. Some people think we are Atlanta. We're not Atlanta. We're city of South Fulton. We border with Atlanta, city of Fairburn, city of East Point. We're near College Park. Um, we're near a lot of different cities. So we're not too far from the Atlanta airport.
So for the past 2 months, I've been, talking about the Fani Willis and her office debacle with the Trump, Georgia election case, right? RICO case. And honey, it just all fell apart really starting the end of January, beginning of February for her. and your situation, which we're going to talk to, because I don't want to get into it until the judge comes on, because it's important. Because your situation, you sued the county of Fulton, and the county or the city,
I sued the city of South Fulton. I didn't
Yes,
sue Fulton County.
you sued the city of South Fulton and
Yes,
won.
right.
And it was a quick it didn't take you years to win that, correct?
No, no. So I initially filed the lawsuit back in August of 2023. We had our first hearing, which was a status hearing. We had that December 1st, 2023. The judge, I don't know if you want me to get into all of this until the judge gets back, until the
No,
judge gets here.
just gloss, not the
Okay.
details. Yeah,
Okay.
when he comes up, then we could, go into the details, because I don't want him to be like, what was this? The backtrack. So
Okay.
you sued.
Yes.
Just give a time frame of the lawsuit.
Yeah, I can do that. So, like I said, we had a status hearing December 1st.
Well,
The
actually,
city.
hold that, because I see him now.
Okay.
We're gonna have to get you better Wi-Fi, honey. I'm going to invest. Oh, straighten out the camera thing, because I know exactly what it is, and I said to you before that I wanted to get it, and you was like, no, that's not it. But I was right, it is it. So I'm getting it for you. Hi.
Hi there. We're here to deal with our current episode of Fulton County, Georgia, exposing the chicanery that has gone on before.
I'm calling it Fulton County
Isn't that
Crisis.
nice?
Fulton County Crisis. So this is Rashad. This is Rashad, and this is the man that LA Pink referred us to, saying that we have to talk about him. And then we also have another guest coming up. What is going on with Jazz tonight?
She's being a bitch.
First of all, the judge come in late, because he got the Snell Wi-Fi, and then Jazz is want to act up. Jazzy, this is serious. This is a serious show. All right. So Rashad, Judge Joe Brown, this is Rashad Snellings. All right. So tell us your situation, Rashad, from the
All right. So, I filed an open records lawsuit against the city of South Fulton back in August of 2023. What was happening was residents were experiencing issues such as in the city of South Fulton and also city of Atlanta. We have a major road that runs through the two cities. A lot of the viewers will know this road. It's called Cascade Road. Right. So Cascade Road, when you get into the city of South Fulton, like around the Fulton industrial area, that road, it goes over it becomes a bridge. And the culvert, which is like a pipe where water runs under it, that culvert was damaged. And so the city decided they were going to close Cascade Road Bridge, and they had this thing closed for about maybe 2-3 years. Right. So residents, we got tired of the road being closed. So I wanted to see what was going on. So I did an open records request on the Cascade Road Bridge, and the city was ignoring my request. And I'm a pretty persistent guy, so I kept following up and following up. Eventually, they sent me what I asked for, but they redacted a lot of information off of that. We also had situations where city officials were being referred to the district attorney's office by our city council, what many believe were for political purposes. I did an open records on that case, and that was for some credit card spending of some of our elected officials. So when I reviewed,
Wait. You're talking about the credit card spending of the elected officials in Fulton County?
For city of South Fulton.
Okay, all right.
City of South Fulton, we're a city in Fulton County. So when I did that open records request to get those credit card statements, they sent me an invoice for a little over $2,000 to get these credit card statements, which should have been public information with how our funds are being spent. These are not personal credit cards for staff and city officials. These are actually government issued credit cards. And I think that's what your question was leaning towards.
Okay,
Um,
yes, it was. Go ahead, please.
yeah, so when I finally got the credit card statements, I saw where some of our city council people, they were charging college tuition on the cards. I saw where they were going out to eat like every single day. We had one city council rep that was taking vacations with the card. So taxpayer funds was being mishandled and misspent.
If
So
excuse me, if I might ask a question, I
okay.
understand that Miss Fanny was getting apprised of this by your written complaints and submissions to her office.
Yeah, so I sent an email about all the corruption I was seeing within the city, and I sent that email over to Fulton County. They referred it to
When
Fani Willis's
Fulton
office.
County, you refer to Fulton County, you would be talking about Fannie Willis, right?
Well, no, I sent the email directly to Fulton County has like this customer service email, so I didn't know where to send it, so I sent it there. They
All right,
responded to me and they copied the anti-corruption unit, which is in Fani Willis's office.
all right. Anti-corruption unit got notice of the complaints of improprieties. All right.
Right.
Yeah.
So
What
yeah,
happened?
so the
Well, take your time.
anti-corruption yeah, so the anti-corruption unit, they reached out to me. They scheduled a time for me to come in. I came in with all of the evidence. I want to say this was about September 2022. So I sat with them for a little over an hour. I walked them through everything. They looked at all the statements with me. They had issues with it as well. And so they told me that they were going to investigate this. It's been a year and a half. And as of today, I haven't seen any movement with this.
Nothing's been done.
Nothing's been happening. So
Nothing at
fast
all.
forward.
Letters, people brought in for investigation, advised of their rights, and none of that has happened.
No, nothing has happened with it, right?
Oh,
So we could fast forward to about 6 months ago. I got some additional credit card statements. We also had a situation where one of our city council reps, she had a death in the family, and she had her this funeral. It was in Savannah, Georgia, and many officers from our police force went down there. I was seeing on the credit card statements where thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars were being charged on city credit cards for a private funeral.
we
So
got 5,000, 10,000,
it
20,000,
was closer to ten
approximately how much?
thousand dollars. It was closer to ten
10,000.
thousand
All
dollars.
right.
It was being spent on on this funeral that was not the taxpayers had no idea about this. So I
So,
made
in other
posts on
words, this $10,000 for a funeral was being put on a Fulton County government credit card,
City
and
of
there
South
was no
Fulton.
disclosure of this to the people who lived in Fulton County, Atlanta, and et cetera, et cetera. That's what
No,
you're
these were City of South Fulton city credit cards,
saying. Okay,
not Fulton
City of
County.
South Fulton. All right.
City of South Fulton. So I brought all of this to the DA's office. Now I also brought an employee that worked for City of South Fulton at the time. I brought her to the DA's office with me as well. She had like a really thick binder of information that she was presenting to the DA's office. So we both testified for nearly, I would say, about 3 hours at the district attorney's office with the corruption that was going on in
This
city
is
of
a
South Fulton.
statement for 3.5 hours at Fannie Willis's offices. That's what you're
Yes.
saying. All right,
Yes.
keep going, please,
So
sir.
so we testified there, and the employee, she was concerned that if the city found out that she was at Fani Willis's office testifying about this, she would be retaliated against by the city. So by the city council and different people that work for the city, right? So she pleaded with the investigators that we interviewed with. She initially asked for whistleblower status. They act like they didn't know what whistleblower status was, and they assured both of us that it was going to be kept confidential. I believe it was the very next day, I got a text from her, and she said that the city was aware that she went to the DA's office and testified. So the confidentiality was not kept. And a few days later, she was terminated.
In other words, terminated for bringing the wrongdoing, alleged wrongdoing, to the attention of the voters, and she got terminated.
Yeah, I don't know what the official reason the city gave, but all I know is she was fired, right? And she went to the DA's office to expose this corruption that's occurring, and she gets repaid by being fired. So.
And
All
then when did the lawsuit come in?
I'm sorry?
The lawsuit, was this after?
Yeah, so I filed a lawsuit against the city of South Fulton for violating my rights under the Georgia Open Records Act. Um, we filed on about 17 different counts. I filed in August of 2023. We had our first status hearing December 1st. Now, at that status hearing in Superior Court, the Superior Court judge, he ordered that my attorney and I, as well as the city, and because they hired outside counsel to fight this lawsuit, they wanted all of us to go into mediation, right? So we went to mediation on January 30th, and my attorney negotiated on my behalf, and I got pretty much everything that I asked for. I pretty much got it. Now, I'm still waiting on the city to fulfill some of the items that were in the consent order, but for the most part, I was able to get nearly everything that I asked for. Now, with this particular lawsuit, it was important to me that this be a community centered. This would be community focused, right? So some of the things that some of the things that I asked for and that I actually got were I wanted the employees that touch open records, I wanted them to be trained by an independent third party. I did not want them trained by the city, because that's how we got to this place in the first place. The second one of
Judge,
the
mute it. You have to unmute, Judge, if you wanted to say something.
I wasn't saying anything. I was listening carefully.
Oh,
Okay.
sorry about that. I thought you were talking.
All right, so I also asked for community training because I wanted the city to have to put on a training for its residents, so the residents would know what the law says and what they're allowed to ask for, what they're not allowed to ask for, what will be redacted, what they will be charged fees for. Because if you educate the residents, then the residents can hold the city accountable when they ask for these documents and they don't receive them. One of the issues I was having was being charged exorbitant fees, and then when I paid the fees, sometimes I would get completely redacted documents. So that was one of the items in the consent order. The city was required to put its schedule of fees on the website, so that the residents will know what fees they'll be charged, and the residents can push back and say, no, this is not what the fee schedule says. They have to also put their policies on the website. For open records as well. And so the training that I mentioned earlier, those have to be done by an independent third party. So we're waiting on. They have until May 31st to complete that training. So waiting on that training to happen. Now, I wasn't the only one that was treated this way with open records. Many residents across the city were treated this way, as well as members of the media. They were blocked from getting records from the city as well. One of the things in the consent order was that the city has to make a good faith effort to respond to all of those backlogged open records requests, and start getting those records out to anyone who requested those records.
Now, the way Dana and I have gotten what you presented to us is that you had attempted to get the prosecutorial authority for Fulton County, Dana, has gotten into it with you. I've gotten into it remotely with you, but not directly. And that prosecutorial authority is Fani Willis.
Yeah. So
Have
first,
you got
yeah,
have you gotten
first,
any results as a result of that?
yeah, no. So first, I went to so in Georgia, the Attorney General he has the authority to prosecute this, right, and investigate it. So I went to the Attorney
Prosecutorial
General.
discretion, they call it.
Huh?
It's called prosecutorial discretion. It's called
Yes,
an
he has
ancient.
that. So I
Okay.
went to the Attorney General. They referred me to the District Attorney's office. So that was when I went to the District Attorney's office. When I sat in the District Attorney's office and went over all of this with them, they said, "Well, we don't have the authority to prosecute this. We're going to send this back to the Attorney General." And then that was when I pushed back on it. I said, "No, the Attorney General told me that you guys have to prosecute this. So I'm expecting your office to do something about it." They never did anything about it. It's been a year and a half, and the district attorney's office has not did anything about this issue. So when I saw that they were sleep on the job, I then that's when I decided to just go and file the lawsuit myself. So I filed the lawsuit myself. I got what I wanted from the court, and then after I got what I wanted from the court, I then emailed the DA's office again and let them know, hey, you guys didn't do anything about this. I had to go to the court. I should have never had to go to the court. And then they responded back to me and said the matter is still under investigation a year and a half later.
So what has happened since then? Has anything happened since then?
No, nothing's happened except I got a useless email from the district attorney's office.
What you and Dana have been talking, what looks like was going on? What's behind
Well,
all of this?
well, now this is just my opinion, but I just felt
Your
like
opinion, I'm asking.
yeah. So I just felt like they were focused so much on this Trump case that the cases that are before the district attorney that affect local citizens here locally, we're not getting the help that we need from the district attorney's office because they're so focused on this other case.
I don't know what happened. Usually it must be somebody calling him. That's why he went black. So
Yes.
the lawsuit, everything that you just saying, is that somewhat separate from you winning a lawsuit? Because it's like you won a lawsuit, but what you were seeking to have to happen didn't happen. Like what you were.
Right. So there were two aspects. So I wanted the DA's office to investigate this and do what they needed to do to make sure this did not happen. Because this is going to continue happening if someone's not held accountable. Because this is an actual law on the books within the state of Georgia. So someone needs to be prosecuted
So
for what's happening, and that is not happening. In the city of Atlanta, this something similar happened in the city of Atlanta. People were actually prosecuted, but this was under a different DA.
all right. So instead of doing the right thing and holding the person accountable for breaking the law, they just settled your lawsuit.
Right, and I thought it was important to also mention that the city did have to pay all of my attorney's fees.
Oh,
So because of the city's actions, taxpayers had to pay all of these legal fees that they should not have had to pay. So they had to pay my $14,000 in legal fees, and then the city's outside counsel that they hired, they charged the city, I believe it was $17,000 from the last invoice that I saw. So taxpayers were on the hook for over $30,000 because the city would not do the right thing.
wow. So, Judge, anything you
So,
want?
in other words, what's happened is you've attempted to intervene in this mess, which is a good way of characterizing it, and nothing has happened for the benefit
No,
of the citizenry. It's just
yeah,
swept.
nothing has happened.
You're just talking about something that got swept under the rug.
Yeah, it got swept. Well, they attempted to sweep it under the rug, but I'm very vocal on social media, very vocal in the media. So I kept the story going in the media, and I think that also helped because I don't think because the judge that was over my case, he's actually up for reelection, and I don't think he wanted this out, so he wanted to hurry up and. That's just my opinion that he wanted to hurry up and get the
How
case resolved.
inconvenient. But if you don't have to pay anything for something, it hasn't really done anything. What is it? Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. So, in other
Right.
words, this is just a bunch of words, and nobody's been stoned for the transgression. So,
Right, and I wanted someone stoned for this.
yes, I don't
Yeah, so
understand it.
and they just haven't did anything about it.
So,
So
where are we now about getting some kind of appellate or whatever redress for the wrong that's been done?
the DA's office said they're still investigating it, so I'm waiting to see what they do from a prosecutorial standpoint. But if I have to take the city back to court again, I'm not going to settle with them this time. I will just have to drag them all through a court proceeding if I have to. And if I can't get the DA's office to do anything about it, I'll just have to enforce compliance using the judicial system. So
Good for you. Proud
yeah,
of you. People need to do this kind of thing. So
yeah.
we're just kind of in stasis right now. The DA's office for Fulton County has ignored the problems, and it just keeps getting more and more spoiled. So that's not good.
Well,
Not good at all.
Yeah, and so I just thought it was important to also mention that when I was requesting some of these open records, they had to do with public works issues as well. When I would request these contracts, because I just wanted to see what the contract said to see why things were costing so much, the city will respond and say, "We don't have a contract." But yet they were in the city council meeting acknowledging that they spent all these millions of dollars, but they claimed they didn't have contracts. So unbeknownst to me, at the time, we they had recently hired a procurement manager. I think he was a procurement manager. No, he was the purchasing manager. They hired the purchasing manager. The purchasing manager started looking into this. And then when he started looking into it and he started pressing the city attorney as to why these things were happening, why we had no contracts, and things of that nature. He was fired. He had an employee that's the employee that went to the DA's office with me. She was terminated. Their boss was the finance director. She was trying to hold them accountable for certain things. She was also terminated.
now,
After she was terminated, none of the employees got paid.
okay.
And
Did any of them file a lawsuit because they were wrongfully terminated?
I believe the former purchasing manager. I believe he filed a lawsuit. And I'm just waiting to see what happens out of that. And I'll ask him about that next time I talk to him. But City of South Fulton is constantly being sued for something. One of our police officers, he had dreadlocks. They made him cut off his dreadlocks. He's in federal court with the city right now. We had a situation with a lieutenant in our police department. They were illegally using confiscated assets. And that's been all over the news. So there's lawsuits that spawned as a result of that as well. So um, we just recently at our city council meeting on Tuesday, we have this amphitheater, and the city staff recommended to the city council that a particular vendor be awarded this contract. The city council they completely ignored what the staff recommended, and they said, "Well, we'll pick our own person." So not only did they vote on it, but they chose who they wanted to operate this amphitheater. So, and from what I'm told, that the company that received that contract from the city council, they were friends of members of our city council. We've had public works issues that have contracts that have been awarded without going through the bid process. and staff members are just being terminated for retaliation. It was also brought to my attention that our assistant city manager, he has his nephew working in City Hall, and so you shouldn't be managing your relatives. So yeah, so those are just some of the issues that we're dealing with here in the city of South Fulton,
All
which
right.
is why people like myself have trying to be holding them accountable.
So we have another guest, and his situation is completely like a 360 from yours, but
Right.
it's still a reflection of the city of South Fulton and the county dealing with DA Fani Willis. So I want to bring him up, Ty. But his first name is Roderick, but I guess Ty for short. Ty, where you at? Honey, you not on camera?
I'm sorry. I'm here.
Hi, Ty. How are you? I think I'm gonna put
I'm
it
fine.
this way.
There we go.
Mr. Roderick, how are you, sir?
I'm doing all right.
My pleasure, sir.
Likewise.
So, Rashad, he, laid out his grievances with the city and the county, right? Corruption, and introduce yourself. Ty, should I just say Roderick or should I just call you Ty?
Okay, Roderick is my first name. So Ty is my middle name. Tywell, but I go by Ty. A lot of people know me by Ty. So
you live in the city of South Fulton as well?
Yes, I live in the city of South Fulton. I moved to the city of South Fulton in 2020.
And give us a little bit of background. Now we don't need to know your personal business because you're a civilian, but just give us a background, a brief background of who you are, and then go into your situation that you currently have right now with the city and with the county, specifically DA Fani Willis office.
Okay, got you. I moved to Georgia. I'm from California. I moved to Georgia in 2004. Can you hear me? I moved to Georgia in 2004, and I'm a car dealer, so it's a lot of back and forth, Georgia, California, but I move cars back and forth. But anyway, I moved to South Fulton, the city of South Fulton, in 2020. I bought a home there, and I moved to a place what I thought was a great place to stay, which I still think that. Just the situation I had in 2022 March, so this month just made 2 years, where it was a young lady I was seeing time to time, wasn't in a committed relationship or anything like that, but things weren't going well between us. She was a little upset. Some things happened. We had went on a trip together. It didn't go well. Coming home the next day after getting back in town, I got up to go to work. She was supposed to get a rental car delivered and she was going to go home, but she called me telling me she not getting a rental car and she wasn't leaving until I came home. So I came home thinking I was going to take her home. But before I got home, I have Ring cameras throughout the home, inside and outside. I see her blocking the camera in my bedroom, and I get home maybe an hour after I saw that. I never called her to say anything about her blocking my camera. I get home and I go straight up to my room to look around to see what she took. I didn't want to accuse her of that until I knew. So I seen something was gone. It was a $900 belt. And I go downstairs, still didn't say anything to her. So I went to look for it. And when I got close to it, trying to get it, she comes up to me and asks me, or, telling me to leave her stuff alone, leave this and that alone or whatever. And I didn't. This is my house and this belongs to me. I'm going to take it. She starts hitting me. So I feel in my right, I'm able to grab her and restrain her, which is what I did. I did that, pushing her off of me. She's hitting me. I mean, I'm 3 times her size. I don't have to hit her. And even if I did, I don't hit women. I'm not a woman beater, never have been. So I'm pushing her off of me. And she's just not letting up. And every time I get back close, she keeps hitting me. About the 3rd time, she couldn't, she realized she wasn't stopping me. Instead of her hitting me, she goes to her purse and she grabs a gun. Right. And I'm looking at her like, wow, she's not about to do this. She cocks it and she did it. And she shot me in the leg. I fell down on the ground.
Wait. She cocked it and then she did it. What do you mean by that?
There's a video. Okay, she racked it up.
You had videos.
I have the video.
We can't do what we would like to do because of copyright and other things.
I got you.
But what you mean? Then she did it. What happened?
Oh, after hitting me and me restraining her, pushing her off of me, after she realized the hits and everything wasn't getting nowhere, she went to her purse. She grabbed the gun out. She goes like this, cocks it back, and she calls me the B word. I don't know if I'm able to say that on here. She said, "You B word," and shot me. Right?
We looked at the video. We can't use it right now for copyright purposes.
Got you.
You're describing what's on this video recordation. You see on the video, she does what she does, and she calls you the B word, which is insulting since you have different physical equipment anyway. And she has the pistol out, she cocks it, and she shoots you.
Yes, sir.
Did she shoot you just once?
No, sir. She shot me more than once. After she
How
shot
many
me
times?
Twice.
And that's on the video, and we looked at it.
The second shot is not captured on video.
It's not captured on video.
No. Ring cameras only records up to 30 seconds or a minute or something like that. Then it stops, and then it waits for another motion again for it to restart. So
we were looking at the consequences of that. But she shot you twice.
Yes.
Once is accurately recorded on video.
The first one, yes.
What happens?
She shoots me. I fall on the ground. I look up at her, and she just sitting there staring at me, and then she starts going off. I get back up. Now, this time, I'm trying to get away from her, but I'm like thinking a lot of stuff going through my head. And as I'm like trying to like reason with her and move away, she shoots me again from behind.
Three times. This is the third time.
This is the second time. I'm explaining the second time.
Okay, you got shot the first time. It's on the video. The second time we're talking about now. All right.
Right, the second time. She shot me again. This time it hits me here. It traveled to my lungs. But I believe that happened because this time I'm like, okay, she shot me again. I'm not about to just let her kill me and not do anything. So this time I'm wrestling her. I grab her, I wrestle her. I get her down to the ground. And I'm holding her wrist because she's trying to shoot me again. And I'm thinking this is the reason why the bullet traveled, because all that movement. I have never been shot before, so I don't know how that stuff works. But anyway.
Fast forward to when the police come.
Okay. The police come. By this time, I'm having trouble breathing. The police arrest her. And even on the police report, just speaking since we're speaking when the police came, radio, the 911 caller advised the officer that came out, we hear a woman in the background yelling, "I will shoot you in the head and I will kill you," threatening me and my nephew is what was happening. But they arrest her when they get there. And then they come arrest her. Paramedics come take me into the hospital.
How long did you stay in the hospital?
I was in the hospital for 10 days. I was in the hospital for 10 days.
Have any charges been brought?
No. I was charged.
You got charged. What did you get charged?
I got charged with strangling her. And I also got charged with animal cruelty.
Yeah.
And where that comes from, I don't know. Yeah.
So after what we saw in the video is revealed, you wind up getting charged.
Yes, sir.
What has happened? I mean, that's how many years ago was this, if any?
2. This
2
month.
years ago.
2 years. Yes.
So, is us that you are about what's the status of the case against me, meaning you? What has happened, and where is the case right now?
Still where it was after this all first happened. After the charge,
nothing's happened in the sheriff. Well, is it sheriff's or police department? Did you been
police department?
And what did they told you?
that it's out of their hands, leave them alone, go to the district attorney's office. I've been down there.
Have you been to the district attorney's office?
Been there several times. I've
And
called.
is Miss Fani Willis the district attorney we're talking about?
Yes, I can't get a hold of her.
What's happened? You relayed to us about how it looks like it's been stonewalled over and over and over.
I'm sorry, I've had 3 different. Hold on. Can you hear me?
I hear you.
Somebody must be calling.
1 second.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Loud and clearly.
Can you hear me? Okay, so somebody must have been calling him the same issue that you have.
Can you hear me?
No, drop out. I can hear you, but can you hear us?
I don't know what.
All right, drop out. Let me text him. Somebody was calling him, and then
I hear him, but apparently he can't hear us.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, drop out and come back in.
I hear you well, sir.
Judge,
Okay.
stop.
Here.
Can you hear us?
Okay, I think I'm in.
Drop out. Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. But all right. Sometimes if somebody's trying to call you, that's going to knock out your audio.
Right.
2 thumbs up. You got it.
Okay, I don't remember the question. I'm sorry.
What was the question you had asked him, Judge?
It was a comment about where has this gone since you attempted to prosecute the things that happened to you. So that's where we were.
Nowhere. I've hired 3 lawyers since then, and they've all reached out to the district attorney, and they're not giving any responses. When I went to the district attorney myself, they said that they don't even have the case. I talked to the chief of police. He said that's not true. He talked to them. They have the case. So it's like they're throwing me back and forth, so I don't know where it's at. So I've spent so much money on attorney fees so far and have gotten nothing at this point. I've even reached out to city council to see if there was anything they can do about it. And the council over my district pretty much ignored me and told me not to contact her no more. So
that was interesting. You want to repeat to us what you were talking about don't contact me anymore? Tell us about that.
Okay, I contacted her once I found out who she was. At the time, I wasn't even sure that she was the counsel for my district at the time, but I knew she was. So I contacted her and telling her what happened. She ignored me. So a couple of months went by, and I found out that she was actual counsel for my district. And I reached out to her, letting her know, again, what had happened, and kind of giving her an explanation. And she said that she has nothing to do with that. She would appreciate it. It was a little back and forth, but she would appreciate it if I didn't reach out to her no more.
Very good. Now, so nothing has happened on this.
Nothing at all whatsoever.
Right. You have not been arraigned on anything. Is that correct?
Sir. No indictment, no arraignments, nothing.
You have no indictment, no setting date, no arraignment date. You got shot multiple times.
Right. And I almost died. And I figured something like this should be a little more urgent for them. That someone was shot and almost died. This can be attempted murder if it was able to go the other way, which I think it should. But they pretty much is like, we're not worried about that. Have a seat and we'll get to you when we can. It's like pull a number and we'll call you when your turn is up.
So the case, so they moved the case from the city to the district attorney office, and it's just been sitting there.
So they claim, like I said, when I reached out to district attorney, they say we don't even have the case.
So who has the case right now?
Well, they said it might be there's somewhere that has to do with the police department, like an investigator or something. I don't know who that is.
So it's not even at her office. I thought
Right.
they sent the case to the DA's office.
That's what the chief has told me, the chief of police, who talked bad about me, But
So
when I
let's just take
yeah,
a couple steps back.
I
So
got
she's in your home. She's not supposed to be there by the time you get there, but she's still there. And you get there. This is like your ex or whatever. Relationship is over. You get home. She's still in your home. You realize that she may have taken something. You go to get it. She's trying to take it back from you, and trying to basically attack you, and you defending yourself. She pulls out a gun. She shoots you twice. Police comes, send you to the hospital, arrest her, let her go, and she tells the cops that you tried to strangle her and I guess harm a dog or whatever, and you get charged.
right.
Um, and you get charged. Were you ever arrested after they charged you, or?
Yeah. I was in the hospital for 10 days. I got out, was out about a week, and I was contacting, when I first got out of the hospital, I had been contacting the detective. And she pretty much ignored me. She ignored me. She didn't call me and say, hey, I'm charging you, turn yourself. I didn't get anything. I even contacted the police department and said that's not the way that go. She was supposed to call me and let me know. I didn't get anything. I'm under doctor's orders. She could have said, hey, get your medicine, whatever you need, turn yourself in. I didn't get anything. I got pulled over. I believe it was the 22nd of March in 2022. I got pulled over. They ran my tag, saw my name, pulled me over, and arrested me. I spent 3 days in that Fulton County jail.
And then you got bonded out.
I got bonded out. Now I'm in there. I'm not even supposed to be walking on my leg. I have a brace on my leg. A doctor told me don't walk on my leg for 6 to 8 weeks. But I'm walking because they just took me however they found me. And I'm tiptoeing through the jail, But yeah, I was there for 3 days. I bonded out. And then this has been what it is since then.
So you just have an open case of being charged with assault and animal cruelty.
Right.
And the city sheriff department is saying we don't have it anymore. We sent it to the DA's office, and the DA office saying we never had it. Some investigative office has it.
Right.
So your case is in limbo, and your lawyers, they can't they can't find exactly who has the case.
I believe they know. I just think they're being short with me, but I don't know how that stuff works. All of this is new to me. I haven't been in this situation before. But they're claiming that this person have it. It's like nobody wants to have it. That's what it looks like to me.
You have an open case, and it's like backlog, and they're not doing anything, and you shouldn't even have been charged.
Right.
And
she should have been charged.
So why wasn't she charged for shooting you? Was she trying to stand your ground?
I believe so. Yeah, mind you, this girl after she shot me. Let me just add this real quick. She shot me. And when I told you I was fighting her after she shot me the second time, I was able to get the gun from her. She gets up, goes outside to my truck, and gets my gun and come back. That's when
she shot you with your gun.
No, ma'am. She shot me with hers. I took it from her after she shot me. I was able to get it from her after I wrestled her to get it from her. She was trying to shoot me again. I got it from her. She goes outside. By this time, I can't breathe. I'm laying on the floor. She goes outside and get my gun and come back.
And shoots you the second time.
No. She already shot me the second time. She tried to shoot me.
So
she came back
and does what?
And comes back to me while I'm laying on the floor. I'm sitting inside my house at the front door. She goes outside and get my gun. She knew where my gun was in my truck. She comes and comes back. And it's in the video, but she comes back and she threatens to shoot me again. You can hear in the video saying I should put a bullet in your head, but by this time she knows I has her gun, so she knows she can't just approach me like that, But she did threaten to shoot me again after the second time. This woman is out and never charged. She's home with her family, and she's dangerous.
And the county and the city and the sheriff department, no one is doing anything. You did you reached out to a city councilwoman, correct?
Correct.
And I wanted to share the response. And she basically told you, I read the thing, and she was basically saying how you have to contact a different department, that you're not supposed to contact her. Like that's not her area.
Pretty much, yes. After she ignored me.
Who was the councilwoman?
Her name is Helen Willis.
Councilwoman Helen Willis. So you reached out to her on
She
Facebook.
seems to object to your consulting or contacting her as a constituent. She doesn't want to be involved.
Pretty much, right. Just like everyone
now,
else.
the other thing is, from what we have looked at, it appears as though the prosecutorial authority decides that, okay, it's not part of the politically correct agenda. Guys aren't supposed to be shot by their girlfriends. They're supposed to be responsible for shooting girlfriends. So since you didn't fit into the agenda, you got no justice. So this has just been hanging for, what is it? How many years?
2 years. 2 years.
Nothing's been done.
Nothing whatsoever. Nothing. Mind you, I've talked to the chief of police. I've talked to the detective supervisor. I've talked to internal affairs, and they both talked to me. They all talked to me reckless.
Okay, so Judge Joe Brown, when something like this happens, what is a person supposed to do?
Nothing other than what the gentleman has already done. It just seems to produce no results.
So if a cop, say if he, like he said, he's a car dealer. So if he's on the road, in between shipments, whatever reason, get pulled over and they want to run his place or run his license, and the license may be clean, but then it will pop up, oh, you have an open case here.
Yeah. So, see, what we have is a video. Looking at the video, which we can't use right now for copyright purposes, and YouTube with their.
You could, everyone, if you want to see the video, go to the website, therealdananetwork.com. I'll put it in a community section. The video is there.
Yeah, we can't use it right now because of some arcane YouTube view. Yeah, but the point is, with what we are looking at or can look at or have looked at, nothing happens. You get shot not once, but more than one time. Somebody goes out to the car, gets your weapon, comes back and shoots you again. And you get told, hey, it doesn't fit into our agenda, so screw you. You can suffer. It ain't our problem. That's basically what it looks like. Is that about the way it went?
That's the way it went.
So what would you like, Roderick, what would you like for everyone that's listening and watching? Is it helpful for people to email and call sheriff department, the councilman people, even the DA office, to put pressure on them to close out your case so you can have your day in court?
All of the local offices are unimportant. It's the DA's office, and the district attorney is Miss Fani Willis, and that is the determinative factor when it comes down to what happens. Well, you got absolutely nothing out of it.
So his case is in the pile with the other backlog cases that she requested the additional money from the federal government from to prosecute the backlog cases, but she actually used that money for Trump. So his cases is shoved there. So in the meantime, he has to make sure that he doesn't get pulled over by the police for any reason in any state, so that he won't have any troubles. And hopefully, with his fingers crossed, he will have his day in court, because it doesn't matter what lawyer he hires. The lawyers are not making any leeway with the sheriffs, the district attorney, or any special investigative department.
Well, Dana, that looks to be about right. We've looked into this, and we've had other people who have reported. In fact, we've already done some other interviews, and they're reporting about the problems that we are now hearing about right now. So what is going on? What kind of thing is happening here? We have Trump in front of the grand jury. We have Trump answering 2 indictments. We've got 18 other et als or other co-defendants. And we've got a situation where there's been $7.5 million appropriated to boost the Attorney General's office and its ability to prosecute languishing criminality. But we haven't seen that, and it looks like the millions of dollars that were appropriated by Fulton County to help out the likes of you, sir, have been used for somebody's political purposes to go after Mr. Trump. That's about the way we are.
Did you vote for any of these same councilmen, DAs, and sheriff? Did you vote for these same people that are basically giving you their ass to kiss in the city of South Fulton and in Fulton County?
Yes, I actually voted for Helen Willis the first time around, but this past time, no, I did not.
What about you, Rashad? You're muted. You're muted. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I do that? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Somebody unmute.
Yeah, no, I didn't vote for Helen Willis. I didn't vote for any of them.
What you indicated you'd been having some difficulties with that. What are they?
With what specifically?
Your representation.
Oh, yeah. So we don't really have representation here in the city of South Fulton. They represent themselves. They represent their interests. So we can't really even go and make public comment at the council meetings because they restricted public comments. We are only allowed to talk about things that they put on the agenda. So we can't really talk about
you mean
things
to tell
that
me
are
the
important.
voters, their constituents, the people that voted them in, you cannot, the people, United States citizen in the city of South Fulton, when you go to a council meeting, public forum, that you could only talk about what is on their agenda?
Right. That's
Robert
the only thing we're allowed to talk about.
From what you've sent us with some video and some clips I looked at, it looks like they are using Robert's Rules of Order to control meetings and prevent you from saying anything.
Right.
Do you think that's right?
No, I don't think it's right. There was a gentleman that came to speak to the city council about, he also had been shot. And he came to the city council meeting to talk about it. And the city council did not want to let him talk about it. And our mayor challenged the city council and asked them to let him speak. And the city council took about maybe 5 to 10 minutes to debate why he should not be allowed to speak for 2 minutes.
Mm-hmm. Well,
and a lot of people feel this is
democracy in progress.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, honestly, first of all, I want to thank you guys for coming on and sharing your story. And hopefully, out people in that county, in that city, hearing this will put more pressure, on their elected officials to make sure that not only the sheriff department, but the DA office is actually, prosecuting or investigating these backlog cases. And Roderick I feel for you because it's nothing you could do until they get to your case. And right now, Trump is taking a priority.
Right.
He's not even a citizen in the state. He's taking a priority over the county. He's not a citizen. He don't pay taxes in that state. Y'all actually voted these people in, and they're just giving their asses to kiss. And I think that's, do you have a city election coming up before November or in November? What elections are coming up?
All right, so it's just our state representatives and some of our state senator elections. Those are the ones that are coming up. Fani Willis is up for re-election. I believe that's next year. So.
Oh, somebody in the chat. Thank you, Janet. She says, try and go to Kemp. So do you know the governor, he just issued a law that prosecutors, it's going to be like a special prosecuting team that's going to be investigating DAs. So have you thought about reaching out to the governor for this type of corruption in the sheriffs and in this particular DA office for backlog cases to be
Well,
investigated?
well, I know I have reached out to the governor's office, and someone did call me and tell me I needed to speak to my state rep. I reached out to the state rep, never heard back from them on this. So,
And what about federal?
I did not reach out to the federal government on this issue because this is more of a state
Well,
issue.
your state senator.
I did reach out to the state senator as well, and I didn't get a response from them either.
I mean, so you have the state assembly senator, and you have the senator that
Congressional.
goes to Congress,
Yes, we
congressional,
have a congressional rep.
right? And you reached out to all of them, and it's just nothing.
Yes.
Okay. Well, thank you guys for coming on, and please keep us posted. And I would love to have you back on to give us an update. But I really would encourage everyone to reach out. If you live in Fulton County, if you live in the city of South Fulton, put pressure on your local councilman to put pressure on the sheriff department. Go ahead, Ty.
Okay. Yeah, a minute ago you asked what I would like to happen or for others to do. I was told by my attorney, one of them, that one of the things that could be done is the police department can still file charges on this woman that shot me. So I just want to mention today that or now that if anyone is willing, they can call down there and they can speak to the chief or they can speak to Captain White, anyone in internal affairs, or the actual detective name is what's her name? Erica Allen. I'm sorry. Her name is Erica Allen. You can call down there to the city of South Fulton and speak to any one of them and tell them to press charges on this woman. That's my big thing right there. I'll fight my day out in court. But this woman needs to go to jail. I almost died and she's at home chilling with her family. And she needs to be arrested. Simple.
Yeah, that's another issue. That's a major issue. Did you try to file a lawsuit against her, or you can't do anything until this case is closed?
Lawsuit now, no. Complaints I've tried and they all got messy with me when I tried. All of them. But like I said, Captain White is the detective supervisor. The detective that handled this, her name is Erica Allen. The detective, there's more than one Erica Allen there. That's why I said it. The detective of City of South Fulton, and whose name I wasn't supposed to mention, but I don't care at this point, is the communications director, Jubal Rogers, who told me to shut up and get out of his face when I tried to talk to him about it. And, because I guess he was the one that's supposed to take the complaint or whatever. And then Chief Keith Meadows, that's the chief of police. I've spoke to all of them. And none of them spoke like they should have with me. Simple as that.
Okay. All right. Well, listen, thank you guys for sharing your story. I don't know what happened to the judge. I was just trying to call him. I think somebody's in his house. I don't know. But any updates on both of y'all cases, please keep me posted. Let me know. Love to have you guys come back on. And yeah, and you know what? Hopefully I would see by the end of this year, Ty, that hopefully your case is resolved, because I don't know. It's like you're out, you can still work or whatever. It's not affecting your livelihood to a certain degree, but anything could happen. Anything could happen with you, with the authorities, with the open case,
I have to be very careful. Yeah, exactly.
So, but thank you guys. Thank you, Rashad. Thank you, Ty. I appreciate you guys coming on, and definitely keep posted. And I definitely want to have you guys.
Make sure I keep you updated.
Yes, and because I have more people coming on next week, coming out of Fulton County, coming out of the city of South Fulton. I don't know what the hell is going on down there, honey, but y'all need to. I think I need to have a massive protest march. Something need to happen.
Well, yeah. So they called the SWAT team at the city council meeting on residents that just showed up just to listen to what the city council was doing. So. Yeah, so they love calling the police on us. So
Yeah, but I mean, I honestly, I think the whole city, I mean, y'all need to really, really come together and have some type of movement to put pressure on the sheriff department and on the DA office to start looking into these backlog cases and other things that are going on. So I think you being on here is just the beginning. I think everyone needs to organize and start uncovering all of this corruption that are going on. Because trust me, you're not the only county, the only city in this nation that has to deal with this. But I think this is what us people need to start doing in this country, looking where we live at the, injustices that are taking place. So, yeah.
And and with us being the largest county in Georgia, we should be doing a lot better than this. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Well, thank you
shameful.
guys. I appreciate you coming on. Definitely stay in touch.
Will
Yeah,
do. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you. All right. I don't know what happened with the judge. Guys, give me a second. Give me a minute. All right, guys. So I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened with the judge. I don't know. Sorry about that. Thank you again to the gentleman that came on. I don't think we're going to be doing phone calls today. Um, so I'm trying to contact the judge again to see what happened. I think he lost connection. So just give me 2 minutes. Give me 2 minutes. guys. Give me a second. I want to go through the super chats. The judge said he's going to come back on. Let me go to the super chats. Thank you to Cowboy fans. Actually, let me make this bigger. I'm too big. I don't feel like being this damn big. Yeah, there we go. That's better. Thank you. Cowboy fan says Democrats destroying our country. Trump 2024. Yes, they are. Thank you to Farida James super sticker. Thank you so much. Mr. Gumbo became a member. Thank you. And thank you, RS. All right, so you're tired. What do you want to do?
No, it's not tired. It's a blood sugar problem. I ran out of medication that I was supposed to take for this type 2 diabetes.
Okay, well, whoever's in your house, they should be on top of that.
No, it's not anything in the house. It's just got to cope with it. Medicare. I switched from insurance.
I wanted to talk about the migrant crisis that's going on, but at the same time, if you are having low sugar, I went
and did something about it. So anyway, yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So the migrant crisis. Let me share this. Let's see. What does it? Okay. So it's madness at the border, right? You have hundreds of migrants breaking through the razor wire, knocking down guards as they illegally cross the El Paso border. So this is happening at the border today, right? This whole migrant crisis has been out of hand for over 2 years, but definitely ever since the last year, we basically have open borders. But not only that, I wanted to highlight this. It is a TikToker. Where is it? Yes. A TikToker says he's urging migrants to invade American homes using squatter rights. So
it's not squatters' rights. It's just a circumstance that has to do with forcible entry and detainer. It's a technicality that deals with the common law that has been adopted in statutory law or snuck itself in. So essentially, it's someone urging that some people do something illegal. The problem is what happens with due process of law to undo the illegality. That's the problem. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I'm just trying. I thought I had his video for this. I had myself.
I've seen that. He's a clown.
I'm trying to find a video, but maybe it's here in this article. So he's basically telling
people to violate the law, and for some reason he's giving the illegal invaders a clue on ensnaring American citizens in a technicality that deals with the law so that they can take over a premises and not be thrown out. This feeds right into this thing with so many of them who have been allowed to escape without any ability to track where they're going, and we're getting our country subjected to what this clown is trying to talk about doing.
So it says a migrant TikToker with 500,000 followers, right? He goes online and he says in his Spanish how to invade unoccupied homes by invoking squatters' rights. So apparently he's Venezuelan, right? They sending all they goddamn criminals here, and he was in Columbus, Ohio. And he said in a recent video that under U.S. law, if a house is not inhabited, we can't seize it. The problem here is they are not citizens. So even if that is a law, you are an illegal. So you don't qualify to be a squatter.
Look. The problem with American law is that whoever is here within the jurisdiction of the United States of America, there's certain laws that apply to them. So what goes on is that it doesn't make any difference whether you're a citizen or otherwise. Our thing, which is not quite unique, but pretty rare in international law, that's called due process of law. In other words, to do something of consequence, you have to follow the process that law is set forth. So you can do that. Now, I'm waiting for this stuff I had to do to get the blood sugar to kick in, but
I'm
it
not about
is what it is.
Yeah, I don't think we should continue.
No, we can.
No, we cannot.
It's kicking in, and it's beginning to have
No,
its.
I'm not trying to sit up here and I'm not. First of all, you just had a diabetic episode, and
Yeah, well, you can't get around it. I'm
no,
77.
you could get around it if you were actually eating properly.
No,
And
that's
I don't wanna
not
go
it.
back and forth
That's
with that
not
with you
it.
right now.
That's not quite it. It's a lack of medication
I get
care
that,
versus
but I'm not trying
private
to.
insurance. So anyway,
The point
it
that I'm
is
trying
what
to
it
make,
is.
a
Now,
medical emergency, which this is. I'm
it's
not
not
trying
a
to
medical
sit here and continue
emergency.
on with the show when you have a medical issue.
Let's go on. It's curing itself. So go ahead. I did something about it.
I don't want to. And I don't think
I'm fine. I'm fine. Go ahead.
it's not even that. It's not even that. You don't understand why I don't want to go on with the show right about now.
I had somebody, by the way, that is an investigator for the local urban area who has been having problems with the illegal immigration coming into here, into this area, because some of the people here, sheriff, chief of police, current mayor, last mayor, they want to make this a sanctuary city. Like, what's going on has not sunk in. So he had to go. And it's not a good thing. We have a big problem nationally, which is, what do we do about this? And it's against the law. We had somebody that we talked to the other day on Twitter Space, X Space, who cited the code sections, United States Code annotated, that make what's going on a felony. So we have people that are conspiring to break the law, which makes it a conspiracy, and nobody's doing anything about it.
So yeah. I want to say this last thing. We have a lot of illegals here, and I don't want to hear the trope of, well, this was our country first. It's not your country. You lost the war. You lost many wars. But we have illegals here that think that they can run amok, break the laws. They are committing crimes. They are robbing people. They are being house squatters. They are absorbing all of our resources. And this federal government and the sanctuary states and city government are just giving them all of these free economic resources. And it has to stop. And the only way for it to stop is if we focus on Congress. You need to vote out anybody in Congress, the House and the Senate, that represents a sanctuary state and a sanctuary city.
Well, let's translate that to layman's terms. The rules for going legally north are not the same as the rules for legally going south. So what you can do to trespass across the border going north are not the same as the rules that apply when you want to go from north to south. In other words, going the other way around, what's going on right now is not allowed.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a problem.
So, how about we do a part 2 tomorrow afternoon before your 4 p.m. show?
Well, that's good.
That's what I want to do. That's what I want to do.
I want to bring up another thing too that's got to do with the current situation. I had full medical insurance under a group plan, and it cost me roughly between $1,600 and $1,700 a year.
Can we talk about it tomorrow?
Yeah, I will, but I'm just approaching it. No. I want to say this now. It's a problem because senior citizens are stuck in a mess where, okay, $1,600 to $1,700 a year for a group insurance plan that was pretty comprehensive now is morphed into $12,000 a year under Medicare. In other words, I have to pay $12,000 a year to Medicare rather than $1,670 some to a group insurance plan. This is Medicare. This is to what? Pay to the U.S. government this amount of money to deal with a healthcare situation that I'm 77. Many senior citizens have to deal with this kind of thing. So we're getting stuck with this, and this administration is pushing for more of the same. This is absolutely ridiculous.
It is.
It does have problems. Why? I mean, I have resources a lot of people don't have, but this applies to anybody. You've got a situation where you have a group insurance plan for $1,600, $1,700, $2,000 a year. Go over to Medicare and you wind up with a minimum of $174 a month, which based on income ramps up to $384 a month, which adds when you deal with penalties, say that are assessed because you tried to save the government by maintaining your private insurance.
Table this conversation
$600 a
tomorrow.
month.
I want to talk about it tomorrow.
Yeah, I know. So that's
Jerry, thank you for the super chat. Judge, I understand about the meds. I had the same problem 2 months ago. Take care of yourself. Yes, and that is why we are going to say goodnight. Say goodnight.
Yeah, well,
say goodnight.
I'm ready to go. I've recovered. So
good night, everybody. We're going to do a part 2. We're going to do a part 2 tomorrow afternoon. We'll do a part 2 tomorrow afternoon. All right. Bye.